way, pan out. Get all them in there. Fuck you doing? Let them know. Let them see how they came out.
We're parking right now.
Let them see how they came out.
We're parking right now.
I'm just waiting on Cat for real. He's already through in.
I didn't even see that. I like the movement. I like how y'all stepped up.
Early in the morning too.
Yeah.
You need to get early in the morning. You
Y'all
know.
out here trooping, man. We gotta get a flick or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, flick us up real quick. Let me go. Get my guy in here.
You like going this way?
Yeah, go that way.
Go that way?
Yeah, go that side.
Whoa, look, it's time to go viral. I'm homicidal, I'm killing all my rivals. I'm the man, shit, I put that on the Bible. I Spotify my target, cause you know I got the title. Hey, I'm a Mac 2. I told baby shake that ass like she Apple. She said it's real, so she got my name tattooed. House full, so I hit it in the back room. Whoa, baby said she needed now, peep the urgency. I want a little Kim before she had the surgery. Leg spread on that hardcore poster. She love twerking, she just do it for the coach. Big dog, bull massive. 6 tray Chevrolet, I'm classic. All these niggas mad at me, that's tragic. The main bitch in the bed, that's graphic. Yeah, we about to go viral. Hey, we about to go viral.
What's the deal, people? It's your boy, the one and only, your host that do the most, Mr. Viral himself, aka the villain, cause they hate me for my opinion. Welcome back to another episode of the VwP podcast. Make sure you share, like, subscribe to the channel. As always, I got my co-host in the building. We got Messiah the Great.
We're here to lead the way. You already know.
We got Mr. Cali the one, not the two, Mr. Light Skin himself.
Yes,
We got Show back in the
What's
building.
happening with it, baby?
The fun guy.
You already know.
As the people know. Hey, we got a banger for y'all today. We got a heavy hitter in the house. I know y'all done seen him because he been going viral. He been going crazy. My man tapped in. He said, man, I got to pull up on you one time. And pull up he did with the whole army outside. Who we got in the building? We got my boy, Mr. Gorilla himself.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to the people, man. Let them know who you
man.
is.
All praise the Most High, man. Gorilla Hebrew, Chief Priest of Sakari Israelite Camp, man. We all over the place now, all over the country. We international. And, you know, we just putting in this work for our people, man. Black and brown people, period.
Salute there.
Hey, first of all, salute. Shout out to my boys. Shout out to the Israelites. I love y'all movement. I love what y'all doing. I like how y'all stand on business. Give them a little bit of your background, where y'all located, where they can find y'all, where they can tap in with y'all movement. If they want to join the movement, let them know a little something.
Yeah, man, you could just, man, y'all can tap in with us. I mean, our YouTube, man, they just took our main YouTube page down to 63,000 subs, man. Just got hit. We didn't have no strike, nothing, man. It was just, they're just like, yeah, your content got violations, we taking you down. You know, took our whole thing down. I've been building it up for some years now. So, you know, we got just a few new pages up. So if y'all type in just my name or you type in my camp's name, which is Sakari, Sicarii, man, all our stuff will pop up. You can follow me on IG and all that, you know. But we all over the place, like literally almost damn near every major city in this country, man. We got a branch, man, and brothers out there doing the work.
Y'all, when you say all over the country, literally all over the country. I mean, we was in Dallas and y'all was in Dallas.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, brother. I'm like, oh, okay. They on the corner going hard. Like, everywhere I go, I see them all around LA, all around Long Beach. I done seen some in Miami. Like, y'all really out here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Boots
sir.
on the ground. So I really salute y'all because most people, it's just lip service. They just talking.
Exactly.
Y'all in the field, like
Yes,
for
sir.
real, standing on business.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the overall outcome of y'all movement? Like, what's the overall objective for the people that don't know?
The overall objective is really just to get, you know, us as black and brown people back on one accord and in alignment with, you know, God's law, statutes, and commandments. That's the number one thing. We feel like the reason why we've been able to be exploited, conquered, all these various things that's happened to us the last 500 years is because we fell out of alignment with our creator, you know? So it's really just about getting realigned with the creator and moving on point and as a collective.
Now, when you say God, is it a certain religion or is it y'all accepting anybody from anywhere?
Well, some people will use the term religion. The more proper term is like what you would call ethno-religious. So it's ethnically based, but it's also like the God of the people. You know, when you go in the ancient times, different people had their own gods versus like now where everybody can become a Christian or everybody can become a Muslim. It's really like certain people worship certain gods all the way. When you read in the Bible, you read about different people groups, the Moabites, the Egyptians, these people, that people. All these people had their own gods. You see what I'm saying? And the God that everybody calls God blanket now is the one of the ancient Israelites. You see what I'm saying? So we're saying, hey, everybody that took our God and they done empowered themselves with our information. If we just think about, the area we in right now and how powerful those people have become, well, what information did they use? They use our information. So we saying, hey, if we get back to it, just think about the greatness and everything we've been able to accomplish with our people being segmented, coming against each other, divided. We still been able to accomplish a lot. Imagine if we come on one accord like they did and use that information that was ours to begin with. Man, we really take over this world.
Now, that's a fact. We definitely preach about coming together because the divide and conquer, that's the ultimate tool. Now, as long as you got that in play, it don't matter how much knowledge we preach.
Does, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We fighting each other at the end of the day. So that was my thought process of, okay, so say someone, they align with your movement, like, yeah, y'all cool, but I'm Christian though. I don't want to get down with what y'all worship, but I want to be down with y'all. Are they accepted or you like, nah, you got to convert and we need to be having the same ideology?
Listen, I'll collaborate with whoever, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, that's one of the reasons I've been, doing different podcasts. I'm trying to show like, I can talk about whatever, we can get with whoever, we can it don't matter. We do what we do, how we do it, but we not closing the door on messing with none of our people. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of how they live, what their ideology is, any of that. Like that don't, because us, we're about our people first. Before any ideology or anything like that, we're about our people first.
Nah, for sure. A lot of people are afraid of y'all movement because of the show of force. And I believe the show of masculinity, like the sheer no bending, no breaking. You see them, you know they standing on business. Like just the aura when you see you guys outside, it's intimidating to most people. How do you think you can break the barriers of the mainstream not being so afraid of y'all movement? Because they like to label y'all as radicals.
Yeah. It's difficult because we're really stigmatized as a people. So if you see 3-4 niggas standing somewhere, people are already like
judgmental.
They already on edge, right?
Like we just came from a hotel. It was some lady from Estonia. She got on. It's 4 of us on the elevator with her, and bro says good morning, and she's just like, just from good morning. You see what I'm saying? So we already got this stigma as a people. Then when we together, then when we're organized, we're militant. Like it was a couple weeks ago, I had a situation where a girl came and she was being real condescending. It was a sister, but she was being super condescending. So I had got a little aggressive with her. Now the next girl came, I was being soft, monotone, everything. She still called me aggressive. Now mind you, this our own people saying this though. Like, oh, you're hella aggressive. And I'm like, I ain't raised my voice. I've been cool with you. Even though you coming with something that I find disagreeable, I've been dealing with you totally soft this whole time. But I'm still aggressive. You see what I'm saying? So that's a difficult thing. But again, part of it is me getting in different spaces like this one and showing like, we're diverse on our topics and how we operate in different situations called to be handled different ways. When we doing our thing on the streets, that handles for us to be militant and aggressive. When we in other settings, we just operate accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Versus always being just overdoing it. But like you said, that masculinity, man, and just owning it, it intimidates people, man.
Nah, it does, and I'm trying to bring it back to the forefront to where it's normalized, it's not looked at as a threat. Like, literally, pulling up to the studio, bro beat me here. He didn't even see me. I'm driving down the street, he in his trunk, getting whatever. White dude jump out his car, he just looking at him like, but the way he looking, I could tell he like, what is this nigga doing over here? Is that even his car? So I had to low-key stop the car and look at the white dude, and he kind of noticed me and like, oh, he went on about his business.
Pushing, yeah.
But just a black man minding his fucking business automatically profiled. So you're right about that. Yeah. But I had made this post online last week. It got a lot of traction, and it was actually kind of controversial, more controversial than I thought it was going to be. What inspired it was the Kendrick Lamar They Not Like Us track where he called Drake a colonizer. And I noticed social media, they started going crazy with, oh yeah, you colonizer, DJ Vlad colonizer, Adam 22 colonizer. And I'm like, in my head, that's not necessarily an insult to me, in my opinion, everybody has different opinions. So I want to read the actual definition of what a colonizer is, and then I want everybody's opinion on that. Because in my head, you calling me a colonizer, you're basically saying I took over something and imposed my will and my way of living politically, religiously, economically, however, through brute force, through whatever type of warfare, mind games, however you want to call it. And to me, that's a winner. I won. Because in nature, you're going to have winners, you're going to have losers. You're going to have alpha and you're going to have the rest. People falling in line. That's just the way the world works with the laws of the universe, the law of opposites. Somebody has to be the dominant. So I want to be the dominant. So call me a fucking colonizer. Fuck you mean. But the actual definition is a country that sends settlers to a place and establishes political control over it. So let's just take LA, for example. If blacks was to take political control over LA via however we get it, I don't see a problem with that. Now, most people, when they think of colonizer, they automatically go to the worst tactic of the worst. Oh, they were rapists. Oh, they were pedophiles and this. But it's like, that's not the only way to colonize a people. Yes, people have done that, but that's not the only way. Mm-hmm. So when I say it's not necessarily an insult, I just mean you taking over and shit, you being a winner for your people, for your folks. Y'all running shit politically. How y'all feel about that, though? Do y'all agree?
Nah, I don't agree. I think it's more so the effects about what then went on with our own people. So it's looking at it like, nigga, you ain't no different from them. If you didn't come by brute force, nigga, you played cool and slithered in up under us, learned everything, and then did some faulty shit. So you wasn't who you act like you was, and now we seeing that. So I think that's more the colonizer. Now, if you just came in here on some guerrilla shit, like you say, and took over, then you gotta respect that. But niggas not doing that. Niggas is coming up under there. We welcome you with open arms, and then you stab a nigga in the back 3-4 times. Like, that's weak as fuck to me. But I look at it different.
How you feel about it, Short?
Well, so kind of like to piggyback off you, with the Pilgrim and Indian type thing. Indians is welcome, open arms. The Pilgrims came and did some slick shit, smallpox, kind of destroyed them in that type of manner. The way Kendrick was getting at, I think he was more so looking at it as, look, we real black men, you kind of an outsider that slither in and somehow, some way trying to take over the culture. You not doing it. You wasn't nappy-headed. You wasn't living in a rough area. You didn't have like the stigmatism of being like the poor black kid in the community. You kind of had a silver spoon in your mouth. And so now that you're trying to put this influence on the game, like as if you came in and you just taking over, nigga, you really didn't have no struggle. You didn't take over shit. You're not one of us. You fake. You an outsider, bro. You're not really part of the community.
Not only that, when you read the definition, right, it says a county that sends settlers to be a place, right, and establishes political control over it. I don't think there's ever been people that have done that in an ethical way. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So even that itself, like, it sounds good on paper, but I think in actuality and reality, a lot of atrocities are committed, you get what I'm saying, to
take over.
Yeah. So that's where people are getting at, oh, you a colonizer, oh, that's a negative thing, because historically speaking, I mean, it is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, now there's somebody, I wish I could remember who quote this was, because it's a great quote, but somebody said, nobody dislikes oppression, people just like being oppressed, right? Meaning, you don't like when you get colonized, but if you have the opportunity, you are going to colonize. It's what you're going to do. Like you said, it's just the natural aspect of life in this world in all species. Like it says, if you look at the second definition, it says ecology, a plant or animal that establishes itself in an area. So animals do it, plants do it, humans do it. It's a part of nature. Just nobody likes to be on the losing end. So of course, how we feel, like you said, how we feel, what we've experienced, we look at that negatively, like, because we been on the losing end for the last couple hundred years. So now we got a certain experience with it, like, nah, we don't like that, but give us the opportunity and we gonna do it to somebody else because we looking to get ourselves on. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm with you on what you saying, like, really, is it offensive? And then, you know, it's just with that whole thing, just with the, not to get too much into Drake and Kendrick, because I know everybody been, it's just been all we've been talking
it's
about.
Coming, you know, I want to start with the serious topic so we can lighten it up later with the Kendrick
exactly,
thing.
I'm with you, but you know, just, you know, I'm with you. You know, it's people only dislike it when they're the victim, you know?
That's a fact, because that's exactly what I was finna say. The only people who have a problem with it are the fucking losers. And we've been the losers. And however you want to call it, like I always say, all's fair in love and warfare. You can put your feelings in it. Oh, man, you did me wrong. You snaked me. Nigga, like, it's chess, not checkers. You should have been thinking 3 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it personally, because if they gonna do whatever to win and you gonna abide by some invisible morals that, you know, you brought yourself to and you lose, I mean, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? To me, because whatever we doing, that shit ain't been working. So at some point, we gotta really look at what we consider morality, and hey, maybe we need to get in the trenches a little bit more, be a little more cutthroat. Because let's keep it real. We'll say shit like, oh, you know, it's not morally right, but then we gangbanging. We colonizing each other on blocks we don't own. So what the fuck is we really talking about? A motherfucker put a wig and a mask on and walk down on you in front of your kids and blow your brain out. Where's the moral in that?
None.
Motherfuckers shoot your mama up, your granny. Motherfuckers will shoot your kids behind some gang shit or behind their emotions, behind a bitch. Now the moral's out the window. So what were you willing to do for your people?
But everybody not standing on morals though. That's why the difference in somebody's character. Now, if you a man that stand on morals and principles, it's certain things, the lines you're not gonna cross. If we saying we should take any means necessary, then as men, then how we look at a rap? Because they did whatever they wanted to do to last or do whatever they needed. Did they play chess? Was they in a better space than the nigga that stood solid? Are you gonna view the rat as a better person because he chose to tell to get out the situation while the other nigga stood down? So who was really dumb and who wasn't?
Hell nah, fuck all rats, number one. I'm just playing the devil's advocate. I'm with you on the morals, principles, integrity. We preach that every week, week in, week out. So I'm with you on that. But I mean, as far as this battle for our people, you might got to get a little dirty out here.
But I agree to what you're saying, because it's more so, I'm just speaking as I know majority of the people are looking at it like we were saying earlier, from our perspective, that if we've been colonized and we've been through certain shit, but like you said, if the shoe was on the other foot, we wouldn't be giving a fuck. If we was on top running the game, niggas wouldn't be mad. It's like, it is what it is. Like you said, by any means necessary.
So something like that. It's basically whoever wins get to tell the story. So it's all about who comes out on top. So if you come out on top, you can kind of narrate the story how you want it to look in your eye. You know, prime example, by going to certain parts of the country, we had it in a certain way. But then if you take over, they can tell the story how they want to. So it's all about whoever wins, because then you can narrate the story how you want the details to be. They can say we savages and they took over to help purify the land. Now, guess what? We created a different civilization. Now we can tell our story because, you know, we made the change. But if the shoe was an opposite foot, savages tried to take over our land. No, we protect home. So it's all about who really wins the story to tell and narrate it.
Yeah, so my family come from Haiti, and when we did the revolution in Haiti, you know, the emperor, when he wrote the Declaration of Independence, he said, "I've rewarded these savages crime for crime." So what he's saying is, I had to become worse and more diabolic than Napoleon we was just talking about. I had to be more diabolic than him in order to beat him. And when you read about the actual details of the Haitian Revolution and like how we was getting down on them, it was gruesome. Like niggas was decapitating infants and putting their heads on staffs and walking in, so that was the first thing they saw, they baby's head on the staff. Think about the fear that came over them, but that's what they pushed us there. All the slavery and oppression, when you understand how bad the conditions was in Haiti, like our life expectancy was drastically lower than everybody else. And when you think about it, that's 1/3 of an island. We outproduced the whole world in coffee and sugar. So think about how hard they worked us, to the point where we said, bro, we finna get on some low down shit with them. That's the only way. So sometimes in order to beat a diabolic enemy, you got to become even more diabolical than them. You see
I agree with that.
That's a fact. No, go ahead, bro.
No, I agree with that. I think in that instance, it's definitely 100% correct. But I think, again, when you're talking about Haiti and the revolution, is a very nuanced situation, right? Where like they didn't go there to impose their will on people who were helpless or were less than. They did it to gain freedom. You get what I'm saying? So I think the intention of why you're doing something and the reason behind it is also what you have to take into account when we're speaking on that definition of a colonizer.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying it because are people we're brainwashed to think inferior of ourselves. Even people using the phrase white superiority and thinking that's an insult. Do you know the definition of superiority? I just pulled it up. Supremacy, excuse me. The state or condition of being superior to all others in authority, power, or status. So by you looking at a white person and saying, oh yeah, white supremacy, white superiority, colonizer, you're basically empowering them over you via your words. And words bring reality. They bring your words create reality. Yep. So by you constantly saying white supremacy, you don't know subconsciously you're programming yourself to think black inferiority. So I don't even like when people use that phrase. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I feel like I'm superior. Every man should. But people naturally will align themselves where they are automatically. Like, we put 10 men in this room. We gonna size each other up and everybody's gonna know, like, okay, he might be the dominant one. Or if not, we might got a battle for who the dominant one. And you, all right, then everybody, but you just colonized the room. You the dominant one. You know what I'm saying? So this whole shit, I'm trying to unprogram us from this mindset. Have the mindset of a winner. The way that they got, the way they look at us, why you think they winning? They believe that shit wholeheartely. That's why they winning.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
Pretty much, bro. But we talked about this already, bro. It's all about what we teaching, bro. We gotta be the ones to break the cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Words have meaning. Words have power. Yeah. When you write out a word, you spell it. Spelling. The key word is spell. You're setting spells in reality, in real time. So think about the words you say. That's why they say never talk down on yourself, even in a joking manner, because the universe don't understand you joking. It just understand what you saying.
Your mind don't know it. And your mind work like a computer. So it don't know the difference from what's right or wrong. So as soon as you tell it something, it's just like, all right, that's what you want. And let me start downloading that. And that, like you say, starts to create your reality. But even at the end of the day, I think it always goes back to knowing ourselves. We don't know ourselves. You know what I mean? So that's why. And people equate everything within themselves with material shit. So you basically judged off of what you got instead of what your spirit or your power is within yourself. So more people are gonna hate themselves naturally when they comparing to everything else that they don't got. Like, are you less of a person if you ain't got X amount of money or whatever the case it may be? But you know, white people already, I ain't gonna say white people, just other people who's got knowledge of self and knowledge in their mind to know certain things. They reading books that you wouldn't even think of at 12 years old. You know what I mean?
But that's where it should be no excuse no more. It is the age of information now. And that's where I feel like it should be no more like not knowing. We need to for sure change our priority and make that a priority of knowing, of learning. You know what I'm saying?
Even knowing, it's about the applying. You know what I mean? We can start learning a lot of shit, but if we don't know how to apply that shit that we know, then it still ain't gonna do you no good, in my opinion.
But yeah, let's move on, man. Stop talking negatively on yourself. Program your mind to think superior. You don't have to hate others, but look at yourself as shit. I'm equal, or I can even be better. Eliminate white supremacy from your vocabulary, black people, because I'm tired of y'all playing victims. We are creating ourselves to be victims. And then we looking at them as the bad guy. No, you're the bad guy. You're creating the reality.
Or asking for help from the motherfuckers too. Think they gonna save us.
I'm just saying. We're literally animals, but the only difference is we have a conscience. So when other animals are threatened, they'll do whatever to survive. They'll go kill the babies. They'll go kill the whole fucking species if they got to survive. So we might gotta, I ain't saying we gotta kill everybody, but stand up for yourself is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Stand on something. But yeah, let's move on. There's this topic that been going crazy. I definitely want to get y'all views on this because once again, I've seen Black Twitter crying victim over this grown ass man. He's a teacher and apparently a TikToker on the side. He had his female students unbraiding and braiding his hair. Other videos, painting his nails, all type of shit. Now, come to find out, he just got fired. He put out another video crying about how it's, I ain't even watched the video. As soon as I seen him crying, I clicked off. I ain't want to hear that shit. But I want to get y'all views on it. Number one, how do y'all feel about him having female students braiding his hair? And how do you feel about him getting fired? I'm going to start with my man.
Well, first, like, as a parent myself, I'm not you not putting my kid on TikTok. Like, let's start there.
Facts.
Like that, I don't care what the context is. No image of my child is finna be propagated out there, you know. And then, you know, I had the issue last year. I live in Atlanta now, so you know, there's a stigma on Atlanta on, you know, certain community down there. And I went to meet my son's teacher, and you know, she was kind of pretty masculine. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I kind of was tripping. So I hit his mom like, yeah, we got to see what's going on with this teacher. You know what I mean? So I elevated the situation like to the principal, like and he like, oh, nah. She just, you know, she just kind of masculine. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But I'm thinking she was, you know, making a transition or something. Yeah. So I was going to be like, hey, we're going to have to pull him up out of that class. You know what I'm saying? So that's an issue already that you got to stay intent on, because, you know, you just don't want your child exposed to certain things. You know what I'm saying?
How old is your child?
He's 6. So he was last year he was going to kindergarten. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's impressionable. That's why I asked. I thought it was like maybe high school or something. When they
not that, you know, not that young, but 6. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they
gonna have them questions.
Yeah, like what's going on? You know, but it's, you know, she was identifying, you know, as a woman still. So I'm like, I just, you know, was a little confused, but she just, you know, she a little on the masculine side, but it ain't that. I'm like, okay, cool. But so, you know, you got to be on that with the school. But then, like, you know, getting too personal like that, you know, we all went to school. However many years we went to school. We wasn't doing nothing like that, man. It wasn't getting that personal with the teachers, even with teachers that you might have been cool with, had a relationship with, whatever. We wasn't getting that cool, man. That's crazy.
I think, I'm telling you though, I came in here the other day and I talked about this, that the line between social media and reality is being blurred. Like, this is unprofessional. Regardless, there's no sexuality present, so I'm not going to put that on them. But me as a parent, if I was a parent, I don't want a teacher getting his hair braided in class. Class is for learning, and whatever else fuck class is for. It's not for...
He pulled the Allen Iverson.
You get what I'm saying?
It's class, get his hair braided.
Come on, man. It's not for that. It's not for TikToks. It's for you to be a teacher and do what you get paid to do. You get what I'm saying? So anything outside of that, I believe is grounds to get fired. So it's like, that's what that was. I'm saying is there's that, and then you have that issue and that safety issue with your parents. As a parent, you don't know who this guy is, right? Like, he's on the internet now saying, I'm a leader in the community. I've done different things. We don't know that, you know? People have came out and said those things and been monsters behind closed doors. Facts. So I would never, and just the optics of being a grown man with little girls. It's like, as a grown man, you should know how this is going to look, regardless of what my intent is behind closed doors. So I don't know.
How old was the kids? What grade was they in?
Middle school.
They look like middle school because they know how to braid hair. So I'm going at least 7th grade.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
Yeah. I don't agree with that shit either. But at the same time, this is why parents need to be instilling shit in their kids anyway. They should have fucking knew better not to be on their camera braiding your teacher hair. You know what I'm saying? To even be comfortable enough to be touching another grown man's head is wild. So not just on that teacher, he out of line. So I don't know what the fuck he crying and shit for. Like, nigga, you did it to yourself. Fuck to be in class teacher, nigga getting his shit braided. Was that after class or something? You know what that doing?
No, during class.
Like, what the fuck is you doing? Y'all going on TikTok, making TikToks in class. Cause trying to get rich.
Yeah, he trying to go viral.
He trying to get out.
He trying to
be a teacher. Yeah.
This bro right here.
I'm thinking he cool. And he like, I got some free, taking my shit down. Ain't no telling how long this shit was going on before he decided to do a video.
Every month, he's getting the shit taken down, probably.
4 black girls, he a weirdo.
That nigga saw them modern day braid prices, was like, fuck that.
I'm cutting
These bitches
corners.
out here taxing. Hey, extra credit. This is crazy though.
Yeah, you can go change.
Cause I got a daughter. First of all, let me end that shit. First of all, I got a daughter. Facts. So like my bro just said, instill that in your kid. Before I even went at the teacher, I would have chastised my daughter. What the fuck are you doing? Yep. You should know better than this. Ain't no way you should be in class with your head in your hands in a grown man's head. Facts. First of all. Second of all, a student's hand should never be on a teacher at all, no point in class. Under no context. I don't give a fuck. Especially a female to a male teacher. That's wild. That's insane. But like bro just Callie said, the lines between social media and reality is getting blurred where people, this dopamine, this need for dopamine is fucking people's mind up. What would make you post that on TikTok? Bro was really trying to go viral. He thought the black community was gonna rally behind him. No, that's some sick shit. After I chastised my daughter, I would have been coming to whoop your ass. Because what even made you that comfortable? If you that comfortable in class on camera, what are you doing behind the scenes?
Ain't no telling what you be talking about with them kids. Ain't no telling what be going on.
Because I heard one of the kids actually text him like, "Hey, bestie, I can't wait to see you back in class after he got suspended."
No, that's crazy.
So,
Reading. That's why I'm like, he's making it worse.
That's why I said.
So you're texting the students outside, like, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, you want some freak shit?
It's giving that chomo pedo vibe on the low. I was gonna say this. I'm saying I have a daughter and I have a son. I have a son with long hair. So even if it was a female teacher doing that to my son, that's still inappropriate at all. And just imagine if the shoes was on the other foot. What if it was the teacher taking down a little girl hair? Right. It's still, the lines are still obscure. It shouldn't be done at all. That's inappropriate. You're there to learn and teach and whatever the case may be. That shit is disgusting looking. And out of line. He don't need to be around no kids at all. He need to get his teacher license revoked. Real shit. That's out of line.
Because we had cool teachers.
We had cool teachers, but it was never like. But still, though, bro, you're there as a professional. You're not there to be a beautician. That's what they got school for that for. That is out. That nigga needs to be fired, teacher license revoked, all that shit. He
Girl wasn't even teaching. They was in there chilling.
Well, it don't even matter. That nigga wasn't even around kids at all, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you what happened.
I'm saying,
man, low-key need to be on Megan's Law.
Teachers don't make a lot of money. And these braiders, bro, they're taxing. Especially you go in there try to get them Nipsey Hussle braids, you finna walk out.
But they got beauty colleges where they do it for free. No, they got beauty colleges where the ones that's just now learning.
You gotta pay for that.
But I mean, it's still lower than going to an actual beautician. But at the end of the day, nigga, ain't nobody. That's child labor. Nigga, ain't nobody doing that.
But look, this is prime example of the lack of masculinity because there's no fucking way in hell a real masculine man who stands on principles, morals, has integrity would ever do some weird shit like that. Bro, damn near a metrosexual. He was in there getting his fucking nails painted, and y'all killed us when we went ham on dudes getting their nails painted. Right. These are the type of men that do that. The type of men who will let your daughter braid his fucking hair in class. See, this is why they're trying to blur the lines of masculinity because let's just keep it real. Pedos they running shit. Point blank period. There's no way that these fucking laws and these pedophiles, fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. I ain't want to get flagged, but I'm gonna just say it. These certified pedophiles. Shout out K-Dot. Shout out K-Dot. These motherfuckers is raping kids, doing all type of shit, and getting probation. Then you got niggas like us out here trying to get some money, do a little dirt, and we get life. First offense type shit. So that lets you know you got to sit back and think, who the fuck is really in charge?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How can I touch a kid and get back out on the streets?
Quick.
That don't even make sense.
And be working around kids.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
that whole law,
it's like a tap on the head.
My bad.
Nah, go ahead.
Even that whole law and show business too about how you can have sex offenders around your children as long as an adult is present. That's weird as well because what if the adult is compromised? You know what I mean? You never know the situation. So it's definitely weird shit going on.
Yeah.
They're blurring the lines with the gay shit, with the pedo shit. I called this at least 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. They're slowly trying to say being a pedophile is natural. Like you can't choose who you love. So I'm standing 100% against that. I don't give a fuck if I get flagged, whatever. That's a problem that we gotta really stand on. We gotta colonize that. We gotta step on that. Get that shit the fuck up out of here. That part.
Dead that.
How is your movement? That's a fact. How is your movement with that whole side of things? Do y'all speak out against that?
Oh, 1,000%. And we know that number one, that's just a problem that plagues our communities anyway. You know, and kind of the don't ask, don't tell, and just everybody silent on that. Like, you know, we got to speak up because I noticed, I'm sure we all did growing up. You know, you dealing with different girls, you talking to different girls, and you see a common theme of, damn, this happened to all of y'all? Or this happened to 85%, 90% of the girls that you talk to? No, that's a problem. It ain't just you. That's a problem. All these girls are going through it. And then also, boys is going through it too. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that's got to be stood against, and we have to be mindful of that behavior, what it looks like when something is suspect, where a line needs to be drawn. Or, okay, this is like in this instance, this is inappropriate. You know what I mean? I feel like this is going that direction. Let's stop that. We can't even go that way. We got to be very serious and stern about that, because the type of mental trauma that gives victims, man, it plagues them their whole life. It causes a lot of hypersexuality in a lot of girls and things like that.
Yeah.
So now we're judging a girl. Oh, she's a hoe. She this, she that. But you don't realize this is a reaction to the trauma that she's been experiencing. So, we definitely are adamant, in speaking out against that for sure.
Man, I commend y'all on that. I salute y'all on that. But you are exactly right on that. A lot of 304s are created through pedophilia. We all done. I'm just gonna speak for the black community. It's like an untold thing. Like, you had that uncle that you couldn't leave the kids around. And Granny was like, we can't speak about it, but hey, don't leave them babies over there. Nah, we gotta start exposing these motherfuckers. Me personally, if you gonna let them back out of jail, castrate their ass. I ain't got no tolerance. I got zero tolerance. Cut his dick and his balls off. Okay, man, you go back to society. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, they might call me an extremist, whatever. Shout out to Africa and them, because they be putting them in tires and burning their ass. So I'm with that. That's a demon you can't get out of you. Once you done touched a kid as a grown man, you gotta go. Yeah. In my opinion. Yeah. That's me though. No, I'm standing on that.
Facts. And we need that to be more, like, calling that out needs to be more prevalent within our community. Too many times do we give the uncle, like you said, the pass, the auntie the pass, whoever, or we do they wouldn't do that, because we don't do that. We, for whatever reason, think our people, I feel like we have a hard time believing we do things like that and commit those types of atrocities to our own people, but we do. That's one of those things, because I think it's it has to do with your mental, right, stability, what's going on in your childhood, and that's something that is very hard, I think, for our people to unpack. So instead of unpacking it, we do go and, look the other way, and it just goes from generation to generation.
Hey, Chief, quick question.
Yes, sir.
Y'all work with different groups. Can I ask you, because I've never asked Israel like this. Do y'all work with, like, the NOI?
Yeah, we've collaborated with the NOI on certain things. We got a good relationship with brothers from NOI, for sure.
Okay, yeah, I was just asking. Was it far extreme or anything like that? But it's cool. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, for sure.
How does the government take to y'all's movement? Because I know the NOI, we already know the long history they have with the CIA and the government itself. Do y'all have that type of history as far as,
Yeah, I done felt some federal pressure before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I mean, y'all gonna take a look, or what are y'all gonna do? Send somebody up in here playing like you're not gonna find nothing. So, we so much on the straight and narrow, and it always crazy to me, because when I was in the streets, I didn't have federal attention. Nigga might have had some local law enforcement attention, but we talking about Fed level. It wasn't until I started doing something positive that now the feds want to come knocking. You know what I'm saying? But I done felt some pressure, but we don't trip on it too much, and the reason is because we know, man, we really ain't doing nothing wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't have burners around us hey, we make sure everybody license is good. I got that felony. Hey, you ain't gonna catch me with it. You know what I'm saying? But, it's gonna be somebody around. But that person who's around is gonna be so legit. You can't do nothing but, hey, salute them at that point. You know what I'm saying? So we just make sure we super straight at all times, to where if you looking, what you gonna find. You know what I mean? But definitely, you got to think about the fact that they expect us, and that's something that they told me. They are expecting there to be black extremists that want to do things, that want to get things cracking. Like, they're looking for that. Why? Because white extremists are doing it. So they're looking like, well, it can't just be white people. But they don't realize, man, they've created a hell of a mentality amongst our people that has made most of us passive anyway. So they don't even understand that we not even thinking like that, like how they're thinking. And white people are like, nah, let's rush the Capitol building. You know what I'm saying? We like, nah.
But let us try some shit like that. It would have been a whole different outcome. Guns blazing,
exactly.
bombs dropping.
Man,
exactly. Motherfuckers have been there, toe up.
I'm gonna say one thing. I commend white people on that. When it's some shit not going their way, they getting out there. They getting in the field.
Oh, they get cracking.
Mind you, they might have, they might react to us being in the field differently, But nevertheless, they get out there. They're not doing no talking. They rushing Capitol buildings. They doing all type of shit. This is why I always say it's more than just colors, more than just race. It's people. It's the elite and it's everybody else. And then everybody else is divided up. If everybody else would look and go, oh, damn, it's them. It's not us. We don't control shit. We don't make the laws. We don't control the money. They do. Why are we fighting down here when we should be rushing the Capitol up there to change shit down here? Why are we crying about taxes? Why are we paying them? Stop paying them, everybody, at once. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, they can't do nothing if
What the fuck could
everybody's
they do?
Everybody does it.
That's the thing. It's a strength in numbers type of thing. This is why I try to preach it every fucking week, because everybody will say, oh, well, you be the first one. Of course, I'll be the sacrificial lamb. They gonna slaughter me. I'm one man. What about 8 billion of us though?
A lot of people comfortable though. That's why though. A lot of people comfortable where they at. Comfortability is gonna bring.
I don't know. A lot of people ain't comfortable. A lot of people live in fear, like you say. So if we do ready to take it there, a lot of motherfuckers not ready to go to jail. A lot of motherfuckers not ready to die about nothing. So I think that's where a lot of things come into play. Like you say, if we go get cracking right now, it's just gonna be a story told and here today, gone tomorrow.
But don't
you know
fear
what I mean?
create flight or fight response? So you saying most of them are scared they go run? That's what you're saying?
No, fear of even taking that action to get to that point. Like you said, when they feel some type of way, they get together, they plot, plan, and scheme, and go make something happen. We rushing the Capitol, niggas is gonna be scared to even get up in that motherfucker, let alone go terrorize it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's probably enough percentage of people like us that will do it.
Yeah.
But like you said, it'll have to be
You got
a militant thing that was built already to the point where we know it's 100 lines in here and not 10,000 sheep. You know what I'm saying?
God.
So then you know who's standing with you and who not.
Yeah, it's something that was cold. Also, going back to the Haitian Revolution, was something that we would do was niggas who was scary, we would put them on the front like, nah, you gonna do this. Like, you gonna put this work in too, or else you gonna have to see us.
Afterwards,
so we utilize that fear in reverse against it in those situations, you know?
Nah, that's true. Because I look at it like, look at this table. Just thinking like the world is the table. The elite is the tabletop. There's no tabletop without the legs. When you remove the legs, the tabletop falls. So we're the legs. We're holding them up. All we got to do is literally just stand up. And the fucking game is over. But they have the mind. You don't need the shackles, the physical shackles, when you have the mind. Like you said, they program you to be passive so you won't even think about trying to revolt. The only thing you don't think about, man, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. How you know you never done it?
To go back, to piggyback on what you say, I agree though, because when we was talking about Napoleon earlier, they said he became one of the greatest, but he used to be nervous, fearful, timid. He said every situation he made himself, put himself in situations to where he knew it was extremely dangerous or extremely to eliminate anything, weaknesses or fear. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up becoming great by being that way. Like you said, fear is probably just more so a figment of the imagination. You scared of something, and then when you face it full force, you're like, damn, that shit wasn't even nothing to even be worried about.
I think it's just human. I think nerves keep you alive. I think fear is okay to have when you kind of, when you're unsure. So you got to kind of just put yourself out there, and with the flight and fight thing, if you're not running away and you running towards it, it kind of give you that little extra motivation to like, fuck it, let me go even harder now, because that excitement got you, that adrenaline got you going.
No facts.
Look, let me sidebar real quick on that Napoleon thing. I just wanted to say Napoleon was under 5'6". He was around like 5'2". Hey, so shout out to short kids. They give us hell out there, ladies. Just do your history. All the greatest military leaders, they was like 5'6" and under. I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying. That's optimal height.
I ain't mad at it. Hey, viral. I ain't mad at that. If you gonna be mad at it, go ahead.
What you
No, I'm gonna piggyback off that. If you know, in like in the military, certain dudes that was tall, they couldn't go to the buildings at the top because they was getting their heads knocked off. So it's a fact.
That's all I'm saying. It's optimal height. So
niggas got their reach. That's all I'm gonna say. No, that jab will keep a nigga across.
Nah, what I was gonna say about fear though is that fear is like anger. It's like any other human. It's a natural emotion. What you do with it, you know what I mean? Is how do you use it? Do you use it as something to, you know what I mean, catapult you into the next level, or do you use it
regress?
Because you could even use it as something to be cautious and say, okay, let me plan more, or let me do this more, or whatever the case is. So it's not necessarily negative. It just depends on how you interpret it.
Exactly.
Look, let me lighten the mood a little bit. I got a few more serious topics, but let me lighten the mood a little bit. The topic that the world is talking about, you already know. We got to get into it. It's a 2-part question. First, let me.
Hey.
Man down. 2-part question. Fuck 'em all in it, mama.
How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body of John Stockton.
Let me pull the question up.
Beat your ass and not the Bible if God watch you.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas what. I'm the one that up the scope with him.
Walking down the whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Extra shit, put it there, flow him.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
Jesus fucking
People on the
Christ.
West back, man. We back outside, man.
Jesus fucking Christ. 2-part question. Is this generation's ether? I'm gonna start with that question first. Do you believe that this is this generation's ether?
Yes. I actually went back and listened to Ether. And I mean, for me, I wasn't around then, so it didn't give me the, whatever the reaction maybe y'all got from it. This for sure was probably our Ether. Because, I mean, I grew up listening to Kendrick. I grew up listening to Drake. Those two people right there, and since 2012, 2013, they have been toying with us about this beef. So pretty much for my whole damn near half of my life, these motherfuckers have been, we gonna beef, we finna send shots, or we finna do this, we finna beef. Finally, they do it. So for us, and on top of that, it wasn't on some Meek Mill Drake shit where it was like, you getting bodied by a singing nigga. No, this was like some intricate shit. They got moles, nigga. They got niggas doing all type of shit. So this over exceeded our expectations. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was everything and more. So I really do think
You know what's so cold? The more you play it, the better it get.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when he dropped it at a perfect time, because it's getting hot out here. We in Cali, it's getting hot.
Come on, bro.
They playing this shit at every pool party,
Day party.
every day party, every function. They playing it at the football games. They playing it at
the
cheer
kid,
practice.
the clowns, the little
Yeah,
kids
clowns
be
playing.
dancing to the shit with the clown dancing and
They
shit.
finna play this all summer.
Did you feel like this was either?
I'm gonna be honest. When I seen somebody say it at first, I was like, fuck no, bro, it's ether. But as I'm looking at the reaction from the world, this is the new ether, bro. For this generation,
I say stylistically.
this the new ether, bro.
Maybe it was Meet the Grams or 616 stylistically.
I'm gonna say this. I don't say it was Ether. I'm gonna say I'm gonna compare it to No Vaseline, Ice Cube. Both West Coast. It was fun. They both had the shock value with something. I ain't never had dinner with the president. Nigga, MC Ren smells like, your Easy Dick smell like MC Ren shit. Nigga calling him a pedophile. Like bar for bar, my nigga, the shock value is like, what? And you can bump him? And it's on some West Coast shit. That shit is on No Vaseline and that. And that's one of the best diss records. No Vaseline, he took out a whole group. That nigga basically No Vaseline draped.
You gotta realize, bro, Drake has been bulletproof since he came in the game. This really tarnished his image to the point where they were talking about Nike and his sponsors were talking about dropping him. Cause this shit hit so hard. I seen fucking Joe Biden and Kamala Harris using this shit. Like, what are we talking about?
They used it in church.
Is that real? No, is that real?
That was
Oh
real.
God, that was real.
That was real.
I thought that was.
That was real.
I don't know if that was real or not. I thought it was a mean shit.
Nah, that pastor really was going up. He trying like, I'm gonna push this word out
He
there.
gonna get some money in that collection plate today.
Sometimes you gotta
Shit.
pop out and show niggas.
What
How you feel about it, Gorilla?
I think I like your No Vaseline
Yeah, No
comparison.
Vaseline.
I don't quite think it was ether, but like I got a lot of opinions on this because this was a West Coast banger, and I think it's what Kendrick needed. Because personally, I didn't like what he was doing before this and the beef, all that rappy stuff he was doing. I feel like he was. I just feel like he was wasting bars, right? And what I mean is, like, if you listen to Family Matters, Drake is on topic from top to bottom, right? Like, there was parts in his where Kendrick just rapping, then he's like, okay, now I'm back on Drake. You see what I'm saying?
Is he just rapping?
Maybe not.
Or is he piecing it together, walking him down?
Now, my thing is, if we're going, because what I dislike about what the crowd is doing is everybody's talking about the double and triple and quadruple entendres that Kendrick used, but Drake did the same thing, right? Like, for example, when Drake said, how you the black messiah wifing up a mixed queen, right? Then he said, you said that you hate the girls I fuck, but what you mean I fuck with black and white and everything in between. Then he talks about Whitney. He's saying, I fuck black girls, white girls, and what's in between, right? Whitney, mixed girl, right? And you're saying you hate those. and then he's going into the problems allegedly in their relationship and all that. Like, I don't see people making a big deal on really breaking down how intricately Drake is hitting him. You see what I'm saying?
It's a bias.
I feel like the crowd is just like, okay, we're done with Drake. So everybody's ready for him to get out. He's been too dominant for too long. He colonized, right? He's been too dominant for too long. Your niggas is ready to just get rid of him. Like, man,
Hey,
fuck
the light skin is coming out of the That's how light skin alliance.
But you
man.
got so many Drake supporters that, because I remember they was killing me for rocking with Kendrick, and now I'm starting to see just
the crowd shift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing. But I think with Kendrick is always being himself. I just think people have expectations on what Kendrick should be doing. So when he doesn't do what they think he should be doing, and you got to remember, Kendrick is smarter than you. He know what the fuck he doing. So people have those expectations, then they mad when he's not doing that. So now they so happy about the club bangers. Like, he probably was hearing that feedback and decided to do that.
Yeah.
But even then, was rap beefs really club bangers? We didn't give a fuck about club bangers when we heard rap beefs from Takeover to all that type of shit. We wanted to hear what he was saying and how much lyrics, whatever you had to show that you was a better lyricist or a better MC at that in general. I don't even think half the people care about the words. They got one hook, you got a beat, and niggas is vibing to it. And
That was the second part of my
Yeah,
question.
that's the simple-
Is it time to admit that the beat matters? That the beat matters. Because just realistically, if we look at the greatest diss songs in history, they all had a fire beat. From A to Z. From Hit 'Em Up, No Vaseline, Ether, Takeover. Like, any of the greatest diss tracks that you're going to name, like, nah, this the best one, this the best one. Yeah. The beat was fire.
Back to back with Drake. That
Back
shit
to
was fire.
back, the
That shit
beat was
too.
fire. So I think producers need to get more credit on the part that they play in music. Because let's just keep it real. Let's imagine Nas's catalog, Nas's career with all top-notch production, because that's a slight that Nas gets from the people is
Beat
half
selection,
the time,
yeah.
beat selection is trash. The lyrics is there. He talking that shit, poetic, whatever, but I can't listen to it because of the beat. So I'm gonna say the beat actually does matter. Kendrick was rapping circles around the nigga, but they didn't give a fuck until that beat dropped.
Tell
I
you
don't
got
think
that
that's
mustard.
I don't think that's true though. I think people had him winning the beef before that dropped. That was the nail in the coffin though.
But
to
what
me
you talking
personally,
about the Metro Boomin?
on
that
I'm
song?
talking about.
You wasn't with Drake before this?
Nigga, I had Kendrick the whole time. I had Kendrick the whole time. I just not biased. So that's the thing. I'm over here saying I agree with some things Kendrick is doing, and I'm agreeing some things with Drake is doing. I'm not the nigga that's just going 100% ride with K-Dot just because I'm riding with K-Dot. So I agree with you on that because if you do go back and listen to Family Matters, he's spitting the whole 7 minutes and 10 seconds. He's going crazy. But right now, I do think there is a little bit more bias towards K-Dot because niggas are trying to get Drake up out of here. I think that's a fact. I think the beat, though, doesn't necessarily matter because he already had it in the bag with 616 in L.A. He already had it in the bag with Meet the Grams because he dropped right after Family Matters. We stopped talking about Family Matters a week ago,
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
He cooled that off. Yeah.
So it was like the beat don't really matter. What matters in Kendrick in the Drake battle is the strategy of it. That's to me the most important thing that we could take away from this battle. He stepped on him. He had moles. He had certain information. You get what I'm saying? I think that aided to him winning, plus the bars. But that was more so like the thing that everybody is like amazed by.
But he literally said it on this track. If you listen, when he said, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas, certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up the skull with it. Walk him down the whole time. So he had this planned out already. All these tracks was damn near, I want to say they was recorded
When he
already.
took that
I want to say
hiatus.
this shit was already pretty much recorded. But he dropped it. Okay, I'm going to drop the lyrical shit. Okay, I'm going to drop the personal shit. Okay, I'm going to drop the mix it up so you can't fuck with me with the flow shit. Oh, I don't got bangers? Bam, not like us.
I think I was gonna say, remember a couple episodes ago, remember you sat right there, you were like, K-Dot, man, remember they said, where K-Dot, he need a response, and he responds. I feel like in that hiatus, when he was hiding out, that's what he was doing. He was already like, he was so strategic. He was lining this shit. Remember you said Drake empty out the clip. You said that shit. He emptied out the clip. K-Dot was just ready to bust now. And he had that shit already lined up.
And it's crazy, but beat matters. That's a guarantee. No, in any music, any form, half the shit we do is vibe to beats. And that's why some people can make soul or jazz music with just instrumentals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and people can
feeds
still
the soul.
vibe off that shit. Yeah. But there's no good songs without a good beat. I can't name many. Because we'll be mad we hear certain lyrics on some shit. Like you said, the beat trash, man. Turn this shit off. As soon as that beat get the knocking, you already vibing. Then he put the right words on it, it's a rap.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
This like some old African Negro
about
spiritual
to say,
shit. When that
yeah.
shit drop, that frequency hit your
Yeah,
soul,
and that
nigga.
You automatically, you don't even dance, you ready to go.
Get the motherfucker moving, nigga.
That shit.
Yeah, my thing is though, like this is a West Coast banger, and I just want to see this energy reciprocated because if everybody in the country is on this and this is hot, why isn't West Coast music getting the love it's supposed to get? Because like I'm down south, I've been down south 5-6 years now. I was in Texas first, then I've been in Atlanta since 2019. Bro, niggas ain't even checking for it. Niggas is like, yo, nigga get in the car with me, you gonna hear all West Coast artists. You're gonna hear plenty Long Beach, you're gonna hear plenty D-Dub in there, Savi, you're gonna hear all that, right? But niggas is like, what's that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they, like,
It's a number of
turning their
different
face
reasons.
up.
Yeah, I was about to say
It's a number of different reasons. I'm gonna let my bad.
Well, I was gonna say just a couple. I just for the South, y'all stand as a unit. Out here, we really don't.
Of course.
We really don't, and that's one of the main problems I know for sure. Because we know we both got homeboys that's in that industry. You feel what I'm saying? And they said it. It's not enough unity out here on the West.
For sure.
I think the gangbanger culture kind of made us separate and divide. I think Nip just now kind of made it cool for us to kind of start fucking with each other, and this unite front about to start happening on the West. I'm hoping that happens because we got a lot of good artists out here.
I think a part of that is that's true, but I feel like the West Coast had lost its sound in general. It's like these niggas lost their identity, want to sound like people from the South, want to sound like these New York niggas. You know what I'm saying? So people can't even come to the West Coast to get a West Coast style or vibe. If you was somewhere else, you hear New York music, I want to take me to New York when I hear your music. You know what I mean? Or take me down South when I hear your music, how it is down South versus trying to sound like everybody else. I say this all the time. But now you got the mustard beat, you got a West Coast producer with a West Coast artist. It was just like it was right on time. Like you said.
Yeah. But what's crazy to me is like they like they like our culture out here. They want to watch a hood vlog. They want to hear about hats and tats.
Man.
They want to hear
Lingo,
about that.
the lingo, how we dress,
they
all
want.
that.
They're like, this is a strange culture. You know what I'm saying? Though it's almost like they want to go on a safari. Like, nigga, what's it?
No,
I went
real.
over where?
No,
can
for
I go
real.
to Crenshaw and Slauson? Like, oh my
Some
god.
niggas, I'm gonna tell you this. Some niggas think Crenshaw's a city. They don't know it's just a street.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say 2 reasons though. One, the West Coast has been plagued with clones. Everybody wanted to sound like Draco the Ruler. Draco was the last person besides Nip who had an original sound, his own flow, his own swag, and everybody saw the success he had and ran with that. Since Draco died, that's all you hear is niggas rapping like Draco. Let's be real. On this track, Kendrick rapped like Draco. That's why the West was like, ooh, he rapping like, ooh, and he got the mustard on the beat. And 2, the subject matter. Our subject matter from our rappers is not as universal. This is why Nip took off the way he did after he died when the world went back and listened like, oh, he talking that shit. He talking that shit that Jay be talking. He talking some shit like Nas be talking. It's more universal. Most of West Coast artists is strictly gangbang. And most of the world don't gangbang. So it's only so much I can listen to the gangbang. It's fun to watch. Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Hood Vlog. Oh shit, we ain't got them hoods out here. Oh shit, he got his rag on this side. It's cool optically, but when I start to listen to it and vibe to it, I can't relate to it.
You limit yourself, and on top of that too, like you said gangbanging. The way we gangbang out here is totally different from how they gangbang in New York, Texas, and all that other stuff as well. So that has another complex as well. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. We getting it together out here.
No, yeah, that was going. You took the words right out of my mouth. To me, that's the biggest reason is that you got songs for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and we got people talking about people and saying certain things that a listener not from here is going to have no idea of what's going on.
See, but the problem with that is that didn't hold Chicago back. I mean, I'm talking about the terminology. They introduced and changed the terminology of the world. You see what I'm saying? Op, thought, all these words, these are just words that they had that were local to them. And people took the time to actually go and engulf themselves in learning about them so they could understand their music. So that's something that killed me too. Like, wait a minute. So the Chicago niggas can come and everybody can go and want to get into they shit, but it don't happen for us. You know
Nah,
what I'm
you
saying?
gotta realize though,
but when
Chicago
shit-
was new.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
And they damn near credit their whole genre with the drill music. You know what I'm saying? So that was
The
that was
unique
a,
sound.
Exactly. That was a whole different energy. And like you said, they came out, they was different. They wasn't trying to be like nobody else, in my opinion. But I just think a lot of us, like he said, with the vocabulary, or it's like, damn, how much you could talk about, because people, that's all rap music is. You talking about street shit. Majority of the rappers, you know what I mean? But street shit in different ways. You could tell the same story 10 different ways, but these niggas be saying the same shit over and over. How many niggas you killed, how many bodies you got, how much you do this. But it's the amount of, I believe, the vocabulary and the context of they substance that does not go nowhere else. But like you say, but people you around. You're not thinking outside of your homies. You thinking what's gonna sound good to these niggas. But like you said, it's a billion people that don't even understand half the shit that you talking about.
Yeah, just to touch on the Chicago thing, they were something new. You gotta realize when NWA hit the scene, what was hot? It was the bebop shit. You know what I'm saying? The Run DMC. So when they hit the scene, this is something the world has never seen. We never
They
seen
never know what Lowrider was.
50 teenagers in a music video shot on an iPhone with AKs, Dracos, and 30 clips. Like half these niggas out here didn't even never seen the 30 clip
Yeah, exactly.
to Chicago hit the scene. So I think that's why they took it by storm the way they did, because not only was it new, it was a new sound. We're like, what the fuck is drill? These niggas killing niggas and rapping about it and tweeting about it and really doing it. This is crazy. Then you got DJ Academics running a play-by-play. It just was the perfect storm.
It was the perfect storm.
It was the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
storm.
yeah,
The same
yeah.
way the gangbang shit in the 90s was the perfect storm for the West.
Yeah.
We turned the whole world out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now
It was
we
their
need to-
turn.
It was
Now
just
we
time.
need another
It was their
storm.
turn.
Yeah,
Pretty
it was
much
just time.
niggas-
Yeah, everybody had a time when it's hot. New York had it, Cali had it, the South had it. Now you know the Midwest. It's just everybody. It's just a circle. It's all gonna come back around though.
No, that's a fact. Let's get back into something a little more serious though. This is something I seen I didn't believe this shit. It was kind of crazy to me. I don't know if you up on it. I'm pretty sure you are. It says racism has cost the country $16 trillion, specifically keeping us out of certain things and not being able to make certain amount of money and work certain jobs. That alone has cost the country $16 trillion.
Why? Nah, I'm not up on this.
Okay, I'm gonna pull
That's
the article
crazy.
up. So basically, it's like they keep us out of certain sectors. You can only reach so high, whatever the case. If they was to allow us the same opportunities, when I say they, I mean the ones who own the businesses, who run the banks, or whatever the case, the way that black people spend money, they estimated it would be about 16 trillion funneling into the economy.
That's crazy.
So racism is literally putting
Hurting.
us in debt. It's hurting society. Not only is it hurting us, they're taking our money and giving it to foreigners on top of that. So how y'all feel about that? The fact that racism is literally putting us in debt.
This is why, like, you know, you if you've been to Atlanta, you know, I live there. Things get in a totally different perspective being in Atlanta than anywhere else, because you see what it looked like when we're doing everything, when we're thriving. You know, you can go to out here a nice gated community and be like, wow, look at this, and everybody is, you know, white.
What color?
No, but in Atlanta, there's a million of them, and every single person, every homeowner in that entire community is black. So, you know, it's a whole different, like, everybody, I be bringing everybody out there. You know, I tell everybody, like, I'm telling you, come see me in Atlanta. Niggas' mind be blown. Like, they're like that. Everybody, everywhere I went, every single part, every police, every banker, everything.
So do you feel like
see what I'm
Atlanta's
saying?
the black mecca for
For
the United
sure.
States?
No, Atlanta like the black Hollywood, bro. I felt like I was in Africa when I got off the plane in Atlanta.
Straight up.
I went to Target, everybody was black. Nigga, I went to the food. I'm like, damn, Target, everybody black? Because you come out here, you might see one or two cashiers. Nigga, everybody was black.
Everybody.
So you think
I'm
we
like,
can colonize
damn.
Atlanta, us as black?
We already did.
Already
like,
did,
like
for
I'm gonna tell
sure.
you something. In Stone Mountain, that was like used to be the home of the KKK. They got all the Confederate generals carved into the side of the mountain. That city's like 70% black now. All big homes, almost all black. Like we've successfully colonized within the 285 for sure.
The monument is still there?
It's still there for sure.
Hold on. Let me read this article though, just to give a background on what we was talking about.
It's
Short
still
going
there.
all over the place.
No,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so here a major bank has put a price tag on how much the economy has lost as a result of discrimination against African Americans. Now, to America, who says discrimination doesn't exist, we're making all this up, blah blah blah, no reparations, all that shit. Here they have put an actual price tag on it. 16 trillion since 2000. U.S. gross domestic product lost that much as a result of discriminatory practices in a range of areas. So all around the economy, they discriminate. It's an invisible glass ceiling that we're not allowed to pass, which is costing the economy money, including in education and access to business loans. According to a new study by Citigroup, it's not an insignificant number. By comparison, U.S. GDP totaled $19.5 trillion last year. And not acting to reverse discriminatory practices will continue to exact a cost. Citigroup estimates the economy will see a $5 trillion boost over the next 5 years if U.S. were to tackle key areas of discrimination against African Americans. So this ain't about nobody else in America. This is strictly the discriminatory practice on our people and our culture. So when we get to talking about reparations and this and that and people's, I don't believe we're ever going to get it unless we fight for it. But this is reparations right here. We're looking at it. 16 trillion from racism. Imagine how much money will be circulating the same way it circulates in Atlanta nationwide if they was to take off that glass ceiling.
And then what's crazy too, even about Atlanta though, is somebody I know out there who does a lot of public speaking, and he was explaining that the average black business in Atlanta the average white business still earns 10 times more than the average black business in Atlanta. So when you go to Atlanta and you see how much we're thriving, we're still being held down there, and you can see what we can do. So that 16 trillion is crazy, but like they know about our spending habits. Yeah. If you give us the money, like if you remember the Dave Chappelle reparations skit, they said the recession is over.
We back, baby.
One day, give us the money. One day, we will stimulate and invigorate this entire economy,
bro.
I'm
and
rich,
that's
bitch.
so bad because we go spend it with everybody else. We want to be close to whiteness, rather.
They did a breakdown. 13 trillion lost in potential business revenue because of discriminatory lending to African American entrepreneurs. So these are the black people you see online say, hey man, I try to go get a business loan. I got A1 credit, this, that, and the third, denied. 13 trillion lost. So we're not making this shit up. With an estimated 6.1 million jobs not generated as a result. So when we say employ black people, support black businesses, they're literally putting a stop to it. This ain't made up shit. This is why I'm pulling this up. 2.7 trillion in income lost because of disparities in wages suffered by African Americans. 218 billion lost over the past 2 decades because of discrimination in providing housing credit. How many videos we done seen? Black person try to go sell a home. They get undercut with the price, the estimate. And they have a white person go back with the same home, put up pictures of a white family, and the price skyrocket. We're not making this shit up. It's right here in black and fucking white. 90 billion to 113 billion in lifetime income lost from discrimination in accessing higher education. We're literally being boxed out from every corner. This is why we need movements like y'all to change the mindsets of the people, to get out here and stand on business, and we can reverse this. But crying and protesting, holding signs, that's not gonna get it, bro. Yeah. I'm just sorry. It ain't gonna get it. We gotta put boots on the ground, and you gotta be willing to really take some action. Look how much money our community has lost due to these invisible discrimination, and all they gonna do is say, hey, it don't exist. Y'all making this shit up.
Yeah, that's the old, that was 100 years ago, you know? But that 16 trillion, man, that's staggering.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Because how much is the national debt?
What is it? We could have fixed that.
We damn near got a quarter of it here that they taking from us. So black people, y'all gotta wake up, man. We gotta start standing on business. I'm tired of the talking. I don't even want to hear about voting because they make the laws. They control the laws. They write the laws. Like one of the Rockefellers said, let me control the money and I don't give a fuck who writes the laws. I control the money. You can write whatever law you want. I control the money. I control you.
Yeah, and our people don't even understand about lobbying and lobbyists. Like, that's who really gets stuff done, and that costs a lot of money. Like you were saying, protesting doesn't get laws changed. Lobbying does. Lining pockets, greasing palms. That's what gets laws changed. How do you think the Asians got their bill passed so quick?
Hate crib. Yep.
It's called money. They got money. You want to know how they got money? Hey, go in your own community. You'll see how your money is in their pocket. That's the thing about Atlanta too. The majority of the place. So this is a cold part. The majority of where we eat at in Atlanta, the Asians still own. The majority of the clubs that people go to, the Asians don't own, but it's Africans from the continent, Arabs, white people. That's who owns all that. And there's even with Africans from the continent, it's a clear, distinct difference in dealing. I know somebody, a brother from Detroit, who moved down and opened up a spot, and literally like some Africans pressed him like, "Who told you can do that?" You know what I'm saying? Like, who told you can, like, he's like, wait a minute, I thought we supposed to be brothers. Nigga, like,
we all from the diaspora.
Like, nah, they not looking at it like that. I remember we was teaching at Juneteenth in Atlanta, and this African dude walked by, and bro was like, "Black Power, right?" He looked and was like, "Nah." You see what I'm saying? So, but they're coming in, they know that we're gonna spend the money though. So they're opening establishments that are just pots for us to throw money in. You see what I'm saying? Because everything is a club in Atlanta. The oxygen is hookah in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
The oxygen hookah is crazy.
The oxygen is hookah. You know what I mean? You just breathe it in as soon as you go outside.
Walk out the airport, huh?
Like as soon as you get to the airport, you just hookah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's on God.
It's crazy though, because one of them I always bring that up too. That video that I watched, the How to Sell to a Negro. It's like they programmed us to be spending like that and create that conscious state of mind to where we want to prove how much money we got to somebody, even though we ain't even got no damn money.
That was my next thing with this though, is that once they put this out here and then they said, okay, we're gonna give those 6 million jobs. Then what do you think the next thing is going to be? Now that they're not discriminating that way, there's going to be a way that the government finds to, okay, we took color out of it. Now that's when we go to classism or whatever the case may be, to be the next thing that they try to use. So black people do need to be wary of that, because what you're talking about, how to sell to a Negro, when we got that money, we didn't understand what was on the other end of it. You get what I'm saying? We didn't really understand what we signed or what part or what plan we were a part of. So we do need to arm ourselves mentally and understand that when they give us something, more than likely they're trying to take something away down the line. So when we have it, let's, cultivate the minds and figure out how to, when we do step out there and start using it, let's use it the right way.
Y'all seen that study they did where they said, when they're talking about like by 2050, how the face of the average American is going to change. Yeah. And black and brown is going to dominate. Mm-hmm. But the wealth, they said we're going to have even less wealth by the time that happens. We're going to control even less wealth than we do now. Mm-hmm. So even with the population growing, we still are going to have less money. And I know that's kind of, it's almost hard to really conceptualize, because we feel like, or at least I feel like, we getting on a little bit more right now. But what wealth is too, that's a whole concept between having some money and what it is for us. I remember, when that term in the early 2000s, hood rich was out. You know what I'm saying? Yep. My pops had had 22s on the truck. Nigga, we had it. We had the game console. You feel me? Like, to us, we're rich now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
It's a famous quote.
I went to a private school in 5th grade. Boom, Pops put me in private school. Okay, shit. Boom. We in private school. Then I realized like we didn't have money. You see what I'm saying? When kids are like, how many houses do you guys own? We're renting still. I'm like, one. Yeah, well, I got 2. We own 2 houses. I'm like, then we don't even really
How long
own
you was in private
one
school?
1 year.
Them tuitions was kicking Pop's ass.
No, what happened was I ended up moving to California. We ended up moving to California for over the summer that year. You see what I'm saying? So we went into private school no more after that. But so it just was. It put things in perspective, like how they was talking. These kids are like, I got a $500,000 house. That's 20 years, 24 years ago. So imagine how much that house is worth today if it were $500,000 in. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what wealth is. You know, and a lot of our people, you got a lot of people on the internet that are talking about, oh, you want to get generational wealth, do this, and people don't understand. You want to get some money today. That's generational wealth is not today. No. If you want generational wealth, you're not gonna get it. That's for your kids and for your grandkids. It's not for you. You know what I'm saying?
Also think about the organizations that black people have made millions of dollars from, right? The NFL, the NBA, the record industry, things like that.
You ain't got no mic game.
Oh my bad. all of these things are things that are low key newly been around. Like hip hop is only celebrated what 50 years.
50 years.
So in the organizations we're even in and making money in, there's not necessarily longevity in that as well. So we have to teach longevity. Like that is something that you have to instill into us. Yeah.
Look,
so I think it'll happen over time though.
Look, it's a quote. It says, "You will own nothing and you will be happy." So the fact that you said it'll be more of us, but we'll have less wealth. I'm seeing certain things happen around the country that's making me believe that's true. I don't know if you up on Louisiana. They granted permission for this wealthy community to break away and start their own town. So they separated from the actual community itself and created their own shit. Like their own country damn near of just the wealthy. And the poor is just left there to fend for themselves. So I see that as something that most people will ignore. But as we ignore it, it might start to trend, and it's like, hey, the wealthy is literally building bunkers. We seeing that. We like, damn, what the fuck they doing there? We looking over here, they're separating from communities, and then you seeing stats like that, like, hey, you guys are gonna own nothing. You ain't gonna own no houses because BlackRock and a couple other companies are buying up all the real estate. So you're never gonna be able to buy a house. You know what I'm saying? You damn, you don't own your car. Like you don't own anything. You don't. Realistically,
even if
you don't even own your own fucking kids.
You don't.
Sign the birth certificate. You got a social security number. They own you. So I look at shit like that, and I go, how can we reverse this? Do you guys go that deep, or you guys just surface level less?
No, we go that deep. What's crazy is all that's happening in Atlanta right now. It's something called the Buckset in Atlanta. So Buckhead. And what's crazy is we hang out in Buckhead. Our people have apartments in Buckhead, things like that. But when you hit them Buckhead back blocks and them big ass houses, them is all white folks back there. You see what I'm saying? But we do plenty kicking it and stuff. And the white people in Buckhead are sick of us. So they're lobbying for something called the Buckset for Buckhead to exit at being a part of Atlanta. But those taxes that are paid in Buckhead is what supports Atlanta. Between the taxes being paid in Buckhead and the revenue brought in for the airport, because you know the airport technically is not in the city of Atlanta, but the city of Atlanta controls the airport. So between that airport and Buckhead, that's what keeps Atlanta going as far as on the civic level. So the white folks up there, they're like, nah, we sick of this because we got a saying in Atlanta called Buckhead's the new Bankhead. Right, because Buckhead is nice, but we kicking it, and there's shootouts, there's all kind of stuff. Some of the hottest, most uppity clubs, niggas is getting killed out front of. You see what I'm saying? They're sick of it, and they want to be able to create their own police force so they can over-police the areas where we're in. Versus APD, they're stretched thin, so there's less police in that area because technically it's a lower crime rate. You see what I'm saying? So that's something that they're doing there, and they want the wealthiest part of Atlanta to seed from the rest of Atlanta and become its own city. You see what I'm saying? So they're definitely trying to do that now.
How I'm starting to look at it, to back to what you're saying about them separating, I think now they getting to a point realizing how much money they losing. They not giving a fuck about black, white, red, or orange no more. They looking at it like you got green or you broke. So now they gonna start to really push that form of, I wouldn't say not as racism, but yeah, we wealthy, they not, you know what I mean? Yeah,
classism, yeah.
You the enemy if you ain't up here with us. If you got money, fuck it, you fucking with us. If not, we finna orchestrate this to separate us from everything else. And slowly they gonna start doing it. You gonna see it out here. They boosting the economy up. People starting to have to gravitate to certain spots where you only gonna see the rich over here, and you go.
Well, it's kind of like that over here in Beverly Hills. Yeah, ain't no freeway. They tried to put a freeway through Beverly Hills. They wasn't gonna allow that shit. Yeah, they wasn't gonna let that shit happen. So it's kind of like that out here with Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, they have so many restrictions what you can't do because they own it. Everybody over there is putting in so much money. They got their own shit going on. This is own city.
Yeah, they so cold they can vote you about the neighborhood.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Hey, look.
Hey, that's real talk, bro.
Question: Are y'all aware of the gender wars that's been going on the last 5 years?
Of course.
What is you guys' movement doing to combat that?
Man, man, what we doing, man, is being honest, man. You know, that's the number one thing, because I feel like there's been just gross misrepresentations on all sides, you know, and something that I've noticed in my life, because I'm mixed, so my mom's white. So growing up, just observing things. And I observed very early on, I don't feel like black women get treated right, period, by nobody. That bothered me. You see what I'm saying? So I noticed that. So there's certain talking points that I see black women have that niggas be in denial of, that's on point 1,000%. And people need to be held accountable for that. On the reverse, I see in the other way, black men get treated a certain way that's totally unfair as well. Expectations, or, you know, we kind of expected not to, we're expected not to do a lot of human things that every human being should be entitled to. So I feel like both sides have valid points, and I feel like I did a whole podcast with my bro who was like deep into the manosphere. So he was explaining like there's a white manosphere and there's a black manosphere.
Yep.
And then he's like, but then there's black people who are really a part of the white manosphere because that's the talking points that they spew. You see what I'm saying? That's the ideology that they coming from. So I feel like it's a nuanced situation, and I feel like instead of pointing the finger, we really need to start getting it together and treating each other better. And that's what we push.
It's wild because the white manosphere doesn't get the hate that the black manosphere gets. So a white man can say everything we say and it's respected. We say the same thing to our women. Fuck you niggas, woo, woo. You ain't doing what the white man's doing. Not knowing the average white man's doing the same thing the average black man's doing.
Exactly.
The average white man's making about the same amount of money as the average black man. But they have been programmed to believe every race has this magical Wakanda with their men, where these bitches is at home doing nothing, and we the only ones that they gotta go to work and actually put in some work in their relationship. So I get into the manosphere. I don't wrap the whole show around it, but I am in the trenches out there because our community, that's our number one problem right now, is
the
gender war. It's we can't come together to fight anything, and we fight each other.
But I see, like you say, a lot of these other women, far as outside of our race, accept certain things. And the mindsets of our women are so much like, well, they just weak. They gonna let y'all do this and let y'all do that. But it's like, no, they're smarter because the man is gonna do above and beyond to keep her in the space that she's in, long as she's operating the way he wants her to. Versus you trying to combat with me and show you more masculine than me. It's like, as a man, you know you can do whatever you needed to do to a woman, but it's like, wow, you need to go there. But at the end of the day, that fight is a lose-lose battle, because you going against me as a black man, I'm going against you as a black woman, and we just gonna stay divided regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think like my views have changed through life experience, because I practice polygyny, right? So I had 2 wives the last few years who ain't do nothing. I'm super traditional, like boom, I just want to facilitate y'all to be at home, homemaking, taking care of the kids, things like that. Now, I recently started getting involved with more women who are actively in the workforce. And I came to like what I call a fucked up realization, because I say I feel more appreciated by these women that work for themselves and who bills I don't pay than the ones who I do. And that was a real fucked up thing for me, because I really stood tall on I got wives, because that would be a thing when people try to stigmatize and demonize polygyny, like, oh, it'd be ugly, weird looking people and you just be exploiting the bitches, it's really pimping. I'm like, nah. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Elaborate on that a little bit. You said you felt more appreciated by the women who worked than the ones who you just let chill at home?
Yeah, for sure. The women who I deal with who are career women or you know, really 9 to 5 and things like that, I feel far more appreciated by them than the women who I've facilitated to just be at the crib with the kids like they said they wanted to for years, you know, for sure. The women who work have been far more appreciative.
Well, think about it. I mean, it's like when you give a kid everything and you don't make them work for it. How they gonna act? How they gonna act? So somebody who's out here earning their living, and they want you, they don't need you, they gonna act a different way. You get what I'm saying? And they're gonna have a different energy towards you. So I think that's what you're getting at, is that, you know, when you have your own shit, you make your own moves, you're respectful, etc. You're just coming in, you know what I mean? You're not looking at this person to be your everything. You're just trying to then be an addition to what this person already has, instead of being like, I'm trying to suck you dry because I don't have nothing. You get what I'm saying? That's how a relationship can become when both people aren't balanced.
look, I'm gonna keep it real. My thoughts have changed since I got into podcasting and actually started talking to these women who have these fucked up gender war mindsets. At first, I was like, okay, man, we can give them logic. They're gonna see it from a different point of view, and we can clean up the community. After doing about a year of that, I said, it ain't no changing their mind. It's over. Them bitches is cooked. Any female that's 30 and over is done. It's over. We got to clip the dead weight and let's get to the younger ones. Like, the minds that we could change, the youth, let's do that. Because these bitches, it's over. That's a losing battle. I'm going to keep it 100. Fuck being optimistic. I'm being realistic. They're set in their ways. They're done. Let's focus on the youth. Let's focus on the more impressionable, the ones who still are open-minded, and let's change the generation for our kids. Because I got a son, and I can't even imagine what he got to go through to find a wife. Because they already on TikTok. They already on Instagram. They already passing sex videos around the school. It's ugly.
So, and on that point, and I was going to say this, we got to start picking better. And like you said, the ones that's already lost, we can't even worry about them. What we can do is start teaching our sons, don't think with your dick. Think with your head. For sure. The big head on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Know her family, know what her values is, and see where she really comes from. Don't try to just get to know her because she fine or she got a fat ass. You got to see what she's about, what her goals are, things like that, to eliminate all that extra shit where you ain't getting one of those toxic ass women that don't come from a fatherless home, or her baby daddy left her at a certain age because, you know what I'm saying, she was dealing with certain ones. So we got to put that shit in our children and be the best example. Us as men, I feel like, so they can know where our daughter see as a father at home and what our son see as a father figure when they go out to go, meet they match. You know
Ladies,
what I'm saying? That should start with us.
If you don't have a ring, you cannot be a relationship coach. I'm sorry. We got to eliminate that from the community too. It's too many old, washed up, gray hair bitches that never had a ring, got 4-5 baby daddies, and giving relationship advice. The only advice you could give is how to be a loser like you. So stop listening to these bitches and y'all start tapping in. You feel me? We got some great minds up here that's giving you good advice. We want to see you win. They want you miserable like them. Mm-hmm. We actually want to see you win. My man done what y'all said y'all want. He had 2 women at home, and they still wasn't satisfied. So it's not the men. It's y'all mindsets.
Yeah, nah, but I had said that before, like when we was talking about that shit. A lot of that shit got to be earned. When they earn, they appreciate it more.
Of course.
And then with women, too, when they invest in you, that's why I say sometimes you got to flip the game. They want to return in their investment. You know what I mean? If you the nigga that's just doing everything, they not going to appreciate it at all. But once they invest in and doing certain things, putting their time, their money into you and shit like that, they're going to want something out of that. Or 9 times out of 10, if you see women that go through things and be like, or if a man leave them, the first thing they going to ask is, what do I get? You know what I mean? So it just depends on how you look at it. But women got to be open-minded enough to still think that you can learn from anybody, because young fools become old fools.
Oh, shit.
This nigga wild.
Fuck that AI.
Hey, look, we running out of time.
Damn near.
Look, we running out of time. I'm going to give my man some final words. You feel me? Let the people know something, man.
Yeah, man. Just, I got to give all praise to the Most High, man. At the end of the day, man, it's just time for our people to wake up, man, all across the board. There's so many different levels to the awakening, man. But, just, man, look into the Israelites, man. Tap in with me on YouTube, on IG, man. We kicking out all kind of information, man, on all topics, man. That's going to be very empowering for our people, for sure.
Shout out to the Israelites.
Shoot out your IG and stuff.
Yeah, so my IG, Gorilla Hebrew, GRLA Hebrew. You can type that in IG, type that in YouTube. Our video's going to pop up, man, and just log in.
For sure.
We here to lead the way, like Messiah say. We here to wake the sheep that sleep. Show, you got any final words, fun guy?
Man, this nigga right here with the fun. Nah, so look, man, I love it. I love the whole conversation we had. You know what I'm saying? Let's do better as a community, man. Each one teach one.
Kali the one?
Shit, man. Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. It was cool. Keep doing what y'all doing. We'll see y'all at the top. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
That part.
The viral way. Bang.
Ain't no handouts, I did it from the ground up. In the streets, thugging hardest where they found us. Got a problem, nigga, watch my troopers mount up. My bitches bang too, and you a lame though. You niggas ain't outside, yeah, we came through. You want your lights up, we put you on the shade.